Hi, I'm Dr. Mickey Becker with Mood Forward. Today I'm going to talk about boundaries. One of the common things that my clients come in with is concerns about boundaries. Either they don't know how to present a boundary to somebody else, or once they've presented a boundary, they don't know how to hold it. And so we have to talk about kind of the concept to begin with of boundaries, and that's what we'll start today. That you're coming in today because you want a quick fix, you want a quick solution to this difficult issue of boundaries, and that's common. That's what my clients come in with. They want me to help them solve this quickly. How do we quickly solve this problem? For me, though, when I look at boundaries, as I look at most mental health issues, it's not a quick fix. Yes, we can give you a quick fix. Hey, my boss is on my case. All right, quick fix. Tell your boss to back off. And if he doesn't, you'll quit. There, quick fix. Now all you got to do is when they don't back off, quit. Done. Quick fix of in-laws are coming over all the time. All right, well, tell the in-laws, stop coming over unless they're invited, or they don't ever get to come over again. There you go. Quick boundary. And now you just got to hold that boundary. So you want a quick fix? There, those are quick fixes. Just stop letting the other person do what they're doing by you changing your behavior. Just enact the consequence. And that's when we look at boundaries, those are the two things we're looking at. We're looking at what is the behavior that needs to change and what is the consequence that's going to be enacted. With both of those issues, or both of those aspects, the focus has to be on you. And the reason I say the focus has to be on you is because this other person is fine with the way things work. That's one of the biggest challenges with boundaries is you may not be okay with it, but the other person is fine. You are the one wanting things to be different, not them. So if you're going to bring up this topic, then the conversation about boundaries is actually about you. It's about what are the behaviors you're not okay with. Now, obviously, there are some behaviors that, on one end, you've got, I'm irritated by this thing. On the other end, it's, this thing is completely dangerous and I won't accept it. Totally different aspects. On one end, it's, okay, is this something that is crucial or is it just something that annoys you? And on the other end, it's, this is a non-negotiable. This has to stop. So we've got a wide range of things we're looking at when we talk about boundaries and we talk about behaviors that you're not okay with. But the key thing is to start with that concept of this is about you. That setting the boundary is not about how do I get the other person to stop doing this thing. It's about how do I hold myself accountable to the changes I need to make in order to enact that boundary. Now, I know you watching this video, again, you want the quick fix. I don't have one for you. We start with awareness. That's where we're starting. We're starting with knowing where you at. And by when I say where you're at, what I mean is how willing and ready are you to change your behavior? Because when we set a boundary, again, boundary is what's the boundary, what's the consequence? Most of us are really good at telling somebody else what to do and not to do. It's a gift of most of us is to be able to say, hey, you should or shouldn't do blank. What we're not good at is holding ourselves to do behaviors that we may not like. And so, you know what? Hold yourself to working out every day is difficult. Holding yourself to enacting a consequence is very difficult because often that consequence is not something we want. We would prefer the other person change so that we don't have to have the consequence. But that's where you're looking at the change in you. That's where you have to find the motivation. Are you willing to enact a consequence that you may not like? When I say you may not like, I mean, if you say, okay, boss, you quit this or I will resign, how willing are you really to resign? Because if that isn't something you're really willing to do, then that's an empty consequence. I'm setting a boundary, but I'm not going to hold you to it. In-laws. If you don't stop coming over uninvited, then we won't invite you over anymore. How willing are you really to follow through on that? Because that's something you probably don't want to happen, but that's enacting the consequence, is saying, nope, not going to happen. So I'm going to finish this video. Again, no quick tips, no quick solutions. The question is, if they don't change, then what? And I ask that of you. If the other person doesn't change, then what? Because if they don't change, I'm just going to keep complaining about it. If they don't change, I'm just going to keep getting irritated. If they don't change, I'm really not going to do anything. It's just going to keep bothering me. All right. If that's where you're at, fine. But don't try and set a boundary, because now you're just saying, stop, or I'm going to keep being annoyed that you're not stopping. So what? So stop being annoyed if you really aren't going to put in the boundary. But if you're at a spot of, I will not tolerate this behavior any longer and I will do what changes need to take place, all right, now we can look at setting a boundary. Because it's not just, if you stop, I'm going to be irritated. It's, if you don't stop, I will change my behavior in such a way that I may not even like, but is going to be healthier for me. It's going to be different for me. Again, boundaries. It's about the boundary and it's about the consequence, but it's about you. And what is your boundary and what is the consequence you are willing to accept? Those two things have to be in place before it does any good to know what language to use, how to present the information. Before you go into any self-reflection, it's how much motivation I have, how much motivation do I have to do things that this may be a consequence I don't like. What's my motivation to step there? Again, I'm Dr. Mickey Becker with Mood Forward, and this is just the start of our series on boundaries, and that's where I'm going to leave you at, is just self-reflection. How ready are you to make difficult changes in your life in order to hold these boundaries?